What's up, everybody? This is Missy Yost,
This is Darren Yost.
and we are the Yost Group. We are local realtors in beautiful Bluffton, South Carolina, and we are here to answer all questions about Bluffton so that your relocation to our area is a smooth one. Today we are going to cover the pros and cons of living in Bluffton, South Carolina. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that you subscribe and hit the little bell here so that you are in the know every single time we make a new video. We do a new video once a week about living in Bluffton, South Carolina, and we'll answer all kinds of questions. And then in addition to that, what you're going to want to do is contact us, call us, text us, email us, whatever means is easiest for you to get in touch with us. Because we are here to help you relocate to our area or answer any questions that you have regarding living in or moving to Bluffton, South Carolina. All right, the first things we're going to cover is the top 5 pros of living in Bluffton, South Carolina, and probably the number one thing is the friendly people in the area. You will not meet friendlier people anywhere. I mean, they wave to you, they smile, everybody's willing to help. Even if you've had a rough time wherever it is you're coming from, after you move here, you too will become a friendly person.
Yes, everybody's very friendly, and the communities are in the town. As you mentioned, if you're walking your dogs or you're out shopping, everybody says hello, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir,
Yeah.
and it's just a very nice community as well.
Very southern. All right, one of the second best things about living in Bluffton, South Carolina is the beauty of the low country. We have endless marshes and moss-covered oaks and egrets and blue herons and water and just beautiful sunsets. I mean, it's just, it's hard to find any area in the entire nation as beautiful as this area.
And I agree with that, especially it's in the wintertime and you have a lot of green areas still around that you can see. The communities are very well landscaped. It's just a very beautiful area to be in.
Yeah. Number 3 best thing about living in our area is the endless amount of recreational activities. We have miles and miles of bike trails, hike trails. You can take your golf cart pretty much anywhere, and there's a lot of golf cart communities and parts of town that are full of the golf carts. You also have a lot of boating activities. You've got kayaking and paddle boarding, and if you like big boats, we've got big rivers that can handle the big boats, and the rivers go right out into the Atlantic Ocean, so the water activities are endless as well. The local communities, most of them do have a lot of amenities, so you'll have your community pools, you'll have golf, pickleball, tennis. Some of the communities even have bocce ball and croquet, and so there's just, it's an endless amount of things that you can do. The 4th best thing about living in Bluffton, South Carolina is that we have beautiful weather year-round. We have blue skies and then stars at night that are so bright. And the weather is mild through the winter time. We do have some cold days, but they're very rare. And then in the summertime, it does get hot, but we have a sea breeze, so it's not really so bad. Our springs are long. Blooms start in February, and then they continue to go into June. Our summer will start like in June, July, August, and then we'll start going into the fall season. But it's just beautiful year-round.
Yes, it is very beautiful year-round, and the coastal breeze makes it very nice. And being outside, whether you're in the summer, the winter, is just very pleasant weather.
Yes, definitely. The 5th best thing about living in Bluffton, South Carolina is the food and culture. We have people who have moved here from all over the United States and the world for that matter, and they have brought their culture with them. And the food is authentic. We have Mexican, Asian, Italian, American, and even Caribbean food. And then of course we also have the local culture, which the Gullah people have brought a lot of their food into our culture. So you'll find frogmore stew and shrimp and grits and our favorite is a low country boil, and people will actually take newspaper and spread it out on a table and just take the boil and throw it out, and that's basically a picnic.
And I love the seafood myself. I mean, that's very fresh. In the years that you are down here, you'll notice and learn when everything's in season and they're fresh from the oceans here, which is great. However, occasionally I like a slice of New York pizza, so that's just as well at times when you want some pizza.
And even though we are in a coastal area, you do not have to be a seafood lover to eat well here. Believe me, I do not like seafood. All right, we're going to cover the top 5 cons of living in Bluffton, South Carolina, and they're not really that bad. The first one we're going to talk about is that we don't have mass transit here. We do, but we really don't. And for the most part, it's not a problem, but with so many people relocating to our area, because right now we are number 2 in South Carolina as far as fastest growing. So it is a need, but it's not a necessity yet. Our local governments are working on it, so we are looking at mass transit options. During the vacation season, you do have a lot more traffic down here than you do normally, and we just find ways to get around it. You know, you just avoid 278, or you just definitely avoid the island on Saturdays when we have the changeover.
And I agree with you. Avoid it. But you can still go out. You just learn where to go and how to go, and the times when the traffic is busy and when it's not busy.
Right.
Simple as that.
Right. The second con is that we really don't have a nightlife in Bluffton, South Carolina. There is a nightlife, but it's basically you start early, you go to dinner, you might go have a drink, and then, you know, there is some live music and some things to do, but there's not a whole lot of nightlife when you compare it to like a major city. We do have Savannah, which is 20 minutes from Bluffton, and when you're really looking for a night out in a big city, then that's your closest option here, and they do have a lot of options over there. So there's a lot of people that do spend time in Savannah. The third con about living in Bluffton, South Carolina is that in the summertime it does get really hot. Now, we're from the Cincinnati area where there is no breeze, so we didn't find it as bad as some people do when they move into the area. But there is not a whole lot. It's probably about 90 degrees in July, August, and you do have humidity with that. So most people stay indoors July and August. You'll see most of the locals out the remainder of the year.
And as we go back to what makes it nice is you have the coastal breeze.
Yeah.
Even though it is 90 degrees out, you always have air, and it's very comfortable 90 compared to some other areas where there's no airflow at all.
Yes. The number 4 con about living in Bluffton, South Carolina is that the home prices are a little bit higher than the national average, and we have very low inventory. But the inventory in the U.S. is low right now. Now, when we talk about average home prices, our average price is about $325,000, where in the nation, Zillow says it's like $225,000. We do have new construction builds that are doing a lot to help our housing inventory. They are building a lot more. Some of the production builders like Pulte and D.R. Horton and Village Park Homes, and they are able to build houses in the 250 range, 250 to 300. So then you are getting closer to the national average then, and it makes it a lot easier. Plus, they're building a lot of these in the New River area, and there are a lot of plans for that area. So that is definitely one of the most popular areas in Bluffton right now. All right, the number 5 con about living in Bluffton, South Carolina is that it's not really a walkable city yet. Our communities are walkable. We have plenty of sidewalks, bike trails, all of that, but they're not in close proximity to a lot of stores or restaurants or that sort of thing. So we do have to use a car to get around for the most part. Now, there are communities that are being built now that are taking more of that type of lifestyle where you live, walk, you know, same area, and you don't need a car. We've got Buckwalter Place right now, which is basically, they've got everything there. Also, Old Town Bluffton is kind of close. I mean, you don't really have a grocery store down there, but you have plenty of restaurants and little stores and stuff in that area.
Well, and that's when you go park your car, as she mentioned, you go down to Old Town Bluffton, you can walk around there, there's antique shops, or you can go over to the Tanger malls, which they're strip malls.
Yeah.
We have 2 of those. We also have a plaza that has a Walmart, a Sam's. So once you get out, there are things that you can walk to, but you do have to drive to them, which are short drives.
All right, the bottom line is that the cons aren't really that bad, and Bluffton is one of the best places in the entire world to live. We've been here now for about 6 years. We absolutely love it here, and we have helped people from all over the world relocate to this area. So we have a process in place that makes it smooth and easy for you. So first thing you're going to want to do to find out more information about the area is to definitely call us, text us, email, whatever means, reach out to us. We are your resource in the Greater Bluffton area. Also make sure that you subscribe and hit the little bell so that you're notified anytime we make a new video. We do publish these once a week now, and we cover everything that we think will help you understand our area better. So once again, I'm Missy Yost.
I'm Darren Yost.
And we are the Yost Group, and we are here to help you learn more about Bluffton, South Carolina, and make your move here as smooth as possible. Until next time.
Bye.